Hi everybody, it's April. It's been a long time. I have been busy rearranging my craft room like I always do, and my oldest daughter moved back in, my youngest daughter moved out, sheer craziness, such is life. But I have an RAK that I am doing, a random act of kindness, in case you're not familiar with the term. I'm a member of a group, and we can sign up monthly to do an RAK. It can just be a card, or it can be a card and a gift, or whatever it is you choose to do. So my normal thing is to send a card, and then also I send cards that are ready to go for the person who receives them to use. So I happened upon a design that I liked. Let me find. And so I decided that I would share in a video this design, because I'm going to make multiples of these cards for my RAK gift. They're not elaborate in any way, but I really liked the way that they turned out. So what I am going to be using are sets of distress ink and this Tim Holtz Splatters stencil. And then I have these little enamel dots, which I thought were kind of cool because they're kind of iridescent. And then I also have from Joann's these three shades of the same color gems. And I actually used gems on the first two cards that I showed you, but I've happened to find these at Target today, and so I thought I might incorporate them into this card. And then the sentiment is by Little Yellow Bicycle. So I've already cut my cardstock into 5 1/4 by 4, and what I'm going to do is just kind of place my stencil, and then somewhere I have Post-it note tape. So I'll take that and tape down my stencil. Like so, because I don't want to go on the white part. And I think the first one I'm going to do, I didn't use this set before, but I really like this color. The shaded lilac is one of my favorites, and I think I'm going to do Roy G. Red, orange, yellow, blue, Roy G. Green, blue, indigo. Green, hold on, sorry. Green, blue, indigo, violet. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll see how it goes. Alright, and I have labeled my daubers. I just happened to get lucky and pick up the right dauber. So I always start out over here, and I'm going to actually test what I'm doing before I do it. This is chipped sapphire. Here we go. I ran out of little ones, so I had to use a big one. Chipped sapphire. That's kind of dark. But let's see. I'm not going to give up yet. Shaded lilac. And this is going to be really light. I don't like those. I do like the green and the purple. So, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to use shaded lilac and shabby shutters. Alright. So I'll start out with the I'm going to do the shaded lilac. So all I do is I just ink the stencil. Really easy. Once you pick your colors, I think picking your colors is probably the hardest part. Whoops. Alright, so there's that, and then I'll just pick it up. And I like to do it in different spots so that it doesn't look like I did the same thing over and over. And I'll do right here. Okay, then I'm going to do shabby shutters. And then I'll end up with shaded lilac again. So the shaded lilac will kind of frame the shabby shutters. And I go ahead and mix. That's why I try to do the Roy G. Biv, so that if my colors overlap, it won't look bad. Because according to what I learned when I worked at Archivers, if you go by Roy G. Biv, which is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, and then it starts back over with red. If any of those colors overlap, they shouldn't make an ugly color. So, that's got that. And pick this up. And then I'm going to put shaded lilac right down here. I probably would have been better off with the bigger ones anyway, but that's okay. And whoa. Okay, obviously I didn't get a hold of my paper when I taped that down. So I'm going to have to make sure I hold my paper down. So I'm not going to go take this all the way over to the other side. I'm just going to take it a little way over. Alright. And there. And that one even looks darker, so that's kind of cool. So, that is that one. Now, the colors that I really liked the way they turned out were red, orange, yellow. So we're going to do barn door, ripe persimmon, and dried marigold. Sorry, I have a new camera stand, but if I hit it, it is not going to stay in place. Alright, so we're going to put this kind of on an angle. And I did get my cardstock in this time. So we're going to start out with a red. And just keep on filling it in. Yep, I should have gotten more big daubers and labeled my big daubers because it takes less time when you're using a big dauber. Alright, so there's my red. Pick this guy up. And then we'll do orange right here, which is ripe persimmon. And I'm going to really overlap. We'll just see how that turns out. I haven't really tried that. There are some awesome rhinestones from Joann's, and I'll show those to you, that have these three colors. So they match really well. I think one of the cards that I showed you had those on there. So, alright, so that gets my orange. And then dried marigold will be the yellow. And what I plan on doing is adding some sewing to this just to spice it up a bit. Okay, so I'm going to do yellow here. And okay, I'm on my cardstock, so I should be good. My cardstock shouldn't move. And this is dried marigold. I'm going to go ahead and overlap where my stencil overlaps. It won't overlap as much as the right persimmon did. That's okay. These stencils work really well. If you tape them down, other than that one little slip, they were doing, and that was my fault. Alright, so there's that. Alright, so I will then attach this to a matching card base, and I always like to ink the edges of my cardstock. It just gives it a finished look. I don't know why, because I'm not neat about it or anything. I just like the look. So let me go get some matching cardstock, and I'll be right back. Alright everybody, I am back, and what I have done is the card base that I did the paint splatters on, I took some black archival ink, and I took several different sets of sentiments, some from Little Yellow Bicycle, some from Scrap Happiness, some from Avery L, another set from Little Yellow Bicycle, and I stamped sometimes in the middle, sometimes over in the corner, just depending on where I thought it would most easily be read. I think you can see this one. These darker colors were a little harder to make sure that you could see the sentiment. But as you can see, they all have their sentiment. And then I found a matching background color and stitched with a color that also coordinated. So now I have these cute cards that I can put in a bundle. I usually like to do 3 or 4 in a bundle and send them to my RAK. This one actually I used Heidi Swapp, what's it called? Some Heidi Swapp spray to get that one. And this one I like the Best Friends Forever. I think this is my favorite. This is Ripe Persimmon and Peacock Feathers, and I like those colors together. So now what I want to do is I want to just add a little something extra. Nothing major, because I don't want it to take away from the project. Here's my quick stick. Okay. So what I want to do, see, like, I think these green look best, and I don't want to put any more than 3. So 1, 2, 3. So that just adds just a little something to the card. On this one, kind of like the peach color. So I'll do 3, 1, 2, 3. So they're just, I'm just placing them randomly. Can't speak. I like this pink. 1, 2. And I'm kind of putting them on dots. This is going to be pink as well. I'm liking this pink. There. 2, 3. So you get the idea. And then that'll be my card. I also have these bling pieces. I have them in different colors too. I really like these. They're not connected. Some of the bling that you get are on lines and they're all connected to one another. These are individually adhesed. So these to me are a lot easier to work with. And I could use these as well, but I just picked these up and these are kind of iridescent and fun. So I thought that I would use those. So I hope you enjoyed this project. I hope that you can take something that you have, maybe a stencil that you have, and use it to make cards for something, for an occasion, and also so you can be prepared ahead of time. I know sometimes it's really hard when you need a card at the last minute, or for me it is. I say I work better under pressure, but when it comes to coming up with a design for a card at the last minute, I find that sometimes it's a little harder than if I've already got the card ready to go. And I know school's coming up. It's some places it's already started and some places it's getting ready to start. So you might have teacher gifts that you want to give, and I think making cards with sentiments that people use on a regular basis, like happy birthday, sympathy, thank you, those types of cards, if you make them ahead of time, you can give them out, and I think they're very much appreciated. So that's it. You all have a great day and be inspired. Bye.